r/confession. Admit your wrongdoings. I just accidentally launched my cat off of my bed. It's just past 12 AM where I live. And I'm tired AF. It's extremely humid and hot in my room. So it's been hard to sleep. I took my feet out from under my blanket due to it being too hot. A few minutes later, my cat, who I love like a child, bit my foot. As an automatic reflex, I launched her out of my bed with my foot and heard her collide with a bag on my floor. I turned on my light and my poor kitty was sitting in shock. I picked her up and she forgave me. I put her outside my room, but she's probably going to come back in. I feel so bad for what I did to her. She wasn't hurt at all. More shocked than anything. Still, it freaked me out for a minute and I feel so bad. I almost burnt the school down. In 6th grade I had the genius idea to bring a flint and steel fire starter to school. Me and my friend were trying to light this small paper towel on fire in the bathroom. It wasn't working, so we put hand sanitizer on it to make it catch fire. I hit the flint and steel fire starter together and the paper towel burst into flames. Now, the plan was to put the paper towel in the sink to put the fire out, but my friend threw it in the trash can because he panicked. The trash can was full of all the other flammable paper towels. It went up in flames, but me and my friend lifted the trash can and dumped all of the burning paper towels into the sink. I turned on the sink and the fire went out. We were fine, but there was so much smoke that we thought the fire alarm was going to go off. 6th grade me was weird. When I was a kid I used to piss in vents. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I would have to pee, and instead of going to the washroom I would just drop my drawers and plant my ass on the hot vent and piss into it. And then air dry. I had no problem with this and didn't see at all why this was unordinary. I at one point casually told my friend, and after that she wouldn't leave me alone in rooms. Also once I was mad at my sister, so I shat on her floor. I didn't even know what to expect, but my sister cried. My parents yelled at me. And I had to pick it up. I also would piss in her vent too. What the fuck did I just read? We shit on her car. In high school, a guy in our friend group broke up with his girlfriend because she was making out with another dude on a debate team trip. On a Friday night, we decided to get back at her the grossest way we could think. We shit on her car. Actually, we, 4 of us, each took a dump in a plastic grocery bag. Drove over to her house late at night. Holding the bags out the open windows because of the smell. And when we got to her house, proceeded to put the doo-doo all over her car. The windshield, the handles, everything. The next day, he got a phone call from her. She was crying. He felt bad and said we'd go over and help her clean it up. I never will forget cleaning our own feces off this girl's car while her mother was on the front porch yelling, "What monster would do this?" I hung my brother on a cross and attempted to recreate Jesus on the cross. I was 5 or so and was raised very religious. He and I were playing in my room. I decided to tie him up like he was on a cross using jump ropes and my bed frame. When my mom called us for lunch, I gagged him and came down saying he didn't want any. I then ate his mac and cheese and went back to find him crying. He cried for our sins. I almost killed my friend's dog on her 13th birthday. My friend invited all the girls in our class over for a sleepover and we started to tell each other scary stories, and at the end of every one, we all tried to scare each other by flicking the light switch or just screaming, and at one point one of the girls shouted, "Oh my God! The killer's in the room with us!" To which we all jumped up and ran out of the room and down the hallway right past the top of the stairs, and suddenly I felt this huge lump by my feet and saw that I accidentally ended up kicking her small dog down the stairs. The dog starts crying and my friend just stops and looks over the banister to see it just lying there on its side, barely moving. She screams for her mum and I just stand there looking around to see if anyone saw me. No one did. My friend and her mum just put it down as an accident. Like he slipped or something. There was no way I was gonna tell them that I was the one who potentially murdered their pet dog. We all spent the remainder of the evening in the waiting room at the vet. 'Cause we couldn't be left alone in the house. While my friend is crying and all the girls pissed at her for keeping them out so late. Teenage girls are cruel. Killed my grandma's goldfish. I killed my grandma's goldfish when I was 11. I hated that poor fish because my grandma loved it. It made me mad. My grandma cared for it so much, she loved it a lot, it would just make her light up and be so happy that it made me mad. My grandma had a platform bed that was light yet heavy. My grandma is very big, around 400 plus, so I had the idea to go to her house to kill her goldfish. She always would watch me when my family was busy. I came over that day and I sat on her bed with her until she needed to use the restroom. I then grabbed Jacob the goldfish out from his tank and pinned him in between the pegs of the bed and the floor. He was just pinned there flipping around. When my grandma came out of the restroom, she sat down on the bed and I heard that worst crunchiest sound ever. She didn't know what it was. She thought her bed was just weak. When she didn't see Jacob in his tank, she cried and bawled her eyes out for hours, frantically looking everywhere for him. She kept asking me, so I then just ended up pointing at the toilet and she thought I had flushed him. My grandma found him a week later when her room smelled bad. I was there when she found it. She just started screaming. She told my parents I can never see her again. When I was 12 she passed away. I feel really bad about it. My parents don't think I did it, they think she was crazy. I ate a slice of a customer's pizza and my manager refused to believe them. So I've been a pizza delivery driver for about 9 months now. I'm a great employee, always on time, always willing to work the extra shift. So my manager trusts me and he always takes the employee's word for it when a customer complains. My manager is also not afraid to call BS on a customer if he believes they are just trying to get free food. So I was talking to a coworker and we had a theory that if we did something crazy enough we could get away with it one time and our manager would not believe it. So I bet my coworker $20 that if I ate a single slice of pizza in the car and delivered the rest, my manager would not believe them. So on my next delivery midway though, I take a single slice out of the pizza, eat it and finish the delivery. I was back at the store in time to hear the call. One of our non-manager employees answered the call and after about 30 seconds of listening into the phone she says, "Manager's name, these people are claiming they were delivered a pizza with a slice missing." Manager, just hang it, it's just people trying to get free food. And that was the end of it. They filed an online complaint that nobody will believe and my manager asked me more as a joke than anything if I ate a slice of that pizza and I said no. I pissed on my friend's bedroom floor. When I was in about 3rd grade, I was sleeping over at a friend's house. I just started going over to his home at that time and I was really unfamiliar with his house. I woke up in the middle of the night while everyone was asleep. I had to pee really bad. And his house was extraordinarily dark at night and I couldn't find any light switches and didn't know my way to his bathroom. I didn't know what to do and I desperately had to relieve myself. So, I went up to the corner of his room and just pissed on the floor. I'm pretty sure I got a lot on my underwear too. So I just took them off and hid them in my backpack and slept commando. I remember the next day him and his sister said something about the floor being wet and they thought someone just spilled a drink or something. Nobody ever confronted me about it or asked me about it ever again. I can't believe I did that though. That's not even like me at all. I guess 8-year-old me was a totally different person. Well, you could have pissed on his pants so he would have assumed it was him who pissed himself. Improvise. Adapt. Overcome. mooning my grandma. There's only two memories I really have that include my dad's mum. One was of my dad crying when she died, and the other was all the pranks I would do to her. The worst one I remember is one night she was standing there eating a grapefruit and I just ran up and mooned her. She was so mad. I was 6 and too young to really grasp everything. But she died later that year and I regret not having any nice memories. Literally all I can remember was me doing those nasty things to her. I would hide in the closet and scare her. And I would call 911 off her landline. I just feel like I missed out on a chance to have a good time with my grandma. She was my only living grandparent and I treated her terribly. Even though you mooned your grandma, I'm sure she loved you. She loved him to the moon and back.